moons of Uranus could be sloshing with oceans hiding just below the surface. Icy walls speckle our solar system from Jupiter's moon Europa to Saturn's moon Enceladus. Scientists have been investigating these alien walls, discovering subsurface oceans hidden under their icy crust. Now, researchers have turned their gaze to the moons orbiting Uranus, searching for secret oceans. Today we will discuss with you on the topic, are there any hidden ocean under the moon of Saturn? Welcome back to Signature's Life, and you're watching Signature's Science. Discovering subsurface oceans on Europa and Enceladus makes a lot of us wonder whether there are many moons out there that, although they are small, may still be warm. Uranus has 27 moons total, but the planet has 5 especially large moons: Titania, Oberon, Umbriel, Ariel, and Miranda. Moons are made up of equal parts rock and ice and are heavily cratered. Physical signs of liquid water erupting through a world and freezing on its surface, called cryolcanism. The phenomenon could be caused by a subsurface ocean similar to what we see on Enceladus, which expels plumes from its ocean out into space. To determine whether a future spacecraft could definitely discover a subsurface ocean on one of these worlds, the researchers in this work calculated how strong the magnetic field Uranus would induce on a moon's ocean. As a moon orbits a planet, that planet's magnetic field tugs at the moon, keeping it in its orbit. This tug from the magnetic field generates an electrical current that can create its own magnetic field, called an induced magnetic field. This induced field is thought to be created by a layer of some kind of electrically conductive fluid like a subsurface ocean. If there's liquid water there and it's a little bit salty like ocean water on the Earth, says some scientists. An induced magnetic field on one of these moons would look very different from Uranus' magnetic field to an instrument on a nearby spacecraft, making them observable from nearby. In 1998, scientists used the same technique to confirm Europa's subsurface ocean and the ocean inside another of Jupiter's moons, Callisto. Europa's induced magnetic field was about 220 nanoteslas strong. Callisto's was about 40. Instead of sending a spacecraft, scientists used theoretical models of Uranus' magnetic field to calculate the possible induced magnetic fields of the planet's 5 biggest moons. Miranda's induced magnetic field was determined to be the strongest at 300 nanoteslas. While this does not confirm the presence of oceans on the worlds, Miranda as well as Ariel, Umbriel, and Titania likely have induced magnetic fields strong enough to be detectable with existing spacecraft technology. Now, while subsurface oceans might exist on these moons, it's likely that they would be much farther beneath the world's surfaces than those on worlds orbiting Jupiter, because the Uranus moons are colder, so they would likely have a thicker icy crust. NASA doesn't have any current plans to send a probe to Uranus. However, the agency is considering a Neptune-bound mission called Trident that could gather information about Uranus as well. According to the statement, they said, NASA will decide that mission's fate next year. However, a probe sent to look for these oceans would have to get really close to at least one of the planet's moons, and such a mission likely won't happen until at least 2042.